We've spent this week in the most radical sentence that Paul ever wrote. We've talked about the crucifixion, the death of self, the indwelling presence. And then today, Paul's going to land the whole thing in the last place that most of us would expect, with the flesh. Paul writes in Galatians 2:20, "The life I now live in the flesh." Now, before you hear that word and flinch, I want to clarify something. In this particular passage, the Greek word Paul uses is sarx. And here it isn't carrying the weight of sinful nature or moral failure or something shameful to overcome. It simply means embodied human life, the life that we live here on earth in an ordinary day, which means Paul is not describing some elevated spiritual experience that floats above the mess of real life. He's saying the crucified life, that no longer I life, the Christ who lives in me life, is meant to show up right here in the midst of a mundane Thursday morning, in the difficult conversation, in the moment you're tired and the patience is gone and someone needs something that you don't feel like giving, not in the spiritual highlight reel, but in the flesh. There was a 17th century monk named Brother Lawrence who understood this better than almost anyone. He worked in the kitchen of a monastery, washing dishes and peeling potatoes, and he wrote once that he found God as fully present in the kitchen sink as anyone ever found him in the chapel, maybe even more so, because he stopped dividing his day into sacred moments and ordinary moments and just started practicing the presence of God in whatever his hands were doing. He called it practicing the presence, and what he discovered was that the divide between sacred and secular is almost entirely artificial. God is not more available on Sunday morning than on Monday afternoon. Christ living in you does not clock out when the worship set ends and the work week begins. The life you're living right now, the ordinary, difficult, embodied, unglamorous texture of your actual day, is the exact location where everything we've talked about this week is meant to become real. Not to spite the mundane, but in it, through it, maybe even because of it. The monastery and the kitchen sink are the same place if you know who's with you. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me before the noise today. Whatever ordinary thing is in front of you this morning, he's already there too. Practice recognizing it. Know that our God loves you more deeply than you could possibly imagine. I look forward to wrapping up Galatians 2:20 with you tomorrow.